Okay, so today I am getting ready and I was just like, what am I going to talk about this morning with my skincare gang? And one of the things that I was thinking about, because it's a question that I get often asked, is how long should skincare actually work? How long does it take for the products to get in there and do their thing? How long does it take for people to see results? And I have to remind myself that I also was like this, very impatient, because when you're struggling with a skincare concern, you're tired of waking up in the mornings and seeing the same issue. You're tired of being confronted with the acne, the breakouts, the dark spot, the itching, whatever the issue is. Skincare problems, you just want it to go away. And when someone says that something works for something, you are absolutely ready to jump in and use those products and want to see results fast. But I'm here to tell you, good thing and a bad thing. Stop waiting for skincare miracles to happen overnight. There is very rarely any product that's going to work overnight. And people pushing you on products that says they worked overnight are not um, are not necessarily being 100% upfront. I used to watch a lot of YouTubers who would talk about skincare, and they would say they've tested the product over the weekend, and then we have a video. And I'm like, how in the world did you know if this thing worked in 2 to 3 days? Because that's just not how our skin works, and that's not how skincare products work. So if you're just joining me this morning, we're talking about the the need for patience, and just understand that there are very rarely any skincare products that's going to work overnight, and that in order for you to see results, there's some things you need to do that's in your control, and then some things that you cannot do that's not in your control. But the biggest one is patience. You have to be patient when you are dealing with skincare products, because if you're not, you're going to be sorely disappointed very quickly, and then end up throwing away products, wasting your money at the end of the day because you think those products don't work. So if you're just joining me, my name is Ayana Peterson, the Thrifting Diva, and on my channel, I talk about having a luxe lifestyle on a budget. And in that budget, we also include skincare, because I feel like skincare is such a major part of our lifestyle that why would we want to spend a lot of money on it to just get some good results? So I want to talk a little bit today about, while I'm doing my skincare routine. This is my morning skincare routine where I do my skincare chats about that. There's so many people who buy products expecting that the minute they put it on, it's going to work and you'll see the exact results. But let me explain our skin cell turnover rates. When we're younger, we can get that pimple and that dark spot, and it could actually get fade quickly, um, because our skin cell turnover is really high. So for my 13-year-old daughter, it's probably about 14 days, right? And that's amazing. Her skin looks dewy, glowy. Every 14 days, there's a burst of fresh air. It's beautiful. It's gorgeous. I miss it. However, as I am 44, it's going to take my skin cell turnover rate, I think it's about 50 days. That's nearly 2 months. Okay. And that's just the way it is. That's how our skin works. That's how God made it. And that's what we live with. So for you to really see if your products are working, it will not be overnight. Like, you can't. There are some things you can see an instant it's an instant result. Like if you use caffeine under your eye for the depuffing, but that's temporary. You'll see that within a couple of hours. Um, if you use Botox, you'll see that within a couple of hours. Things of that nature would work instantly. But in general, the products that we talk about a lot here, is definitely the products that's going to need time and patience. And so I would advise that if you're using skincare products, you need to make sure that you're using them for at least 6 weeks before you make a decision whether to trash it or keep it. Now, there are exceptions to that rule. If you put the product on and you immediately start breaking out the next day, that might be one that you do not use anymore because either you're allergic to it, sensitive to it, it's the wrong skin product for your skin, whatever the case may be. If you're using something that there's an adverse effect, like girl, you're like, let me put this thing away, then definitely want to make sure that you are revisiting it, maybe putting it away. And that's why I always say for new products, we want to test right by our neck. Just do a test near the neck and see if that's something that works. It's called a skin patch test. Make sure your skin really works with this thing. Because for some people, for example, niacinamide, one of my best favorite ingredients in skincare, most people are going to be okay with it. However, there are going to be some people who actually are allergic to niacinamide. And using the skin patch test is a good way of first finding out whether or not your skin really takes that before you go ham and get all these products with niacinamide in it, because somebody said niacinamide is a guru on the skincare market. All right. So what I do for my morning routine, I'm getting ready for work. So it's pretty simple, but yet not. I do my cleanser. I use a CeraVe cleanser. I then follow up with this Good Molecules niacinamide brightening toner. If you've watched my videos over the I've been doing this every day for the last 2 weeks. You know how much I love niacinamide and why niacinamide is so good for dark spots, for anti-aging, for oily skin, for dry skin. It is a really, really good ingredient, but I love it in the Good Molecules because it's also combined with some really effective and really, really nice and gentle tyrosinase inhibitors, which help with dark spots and hyperpigmentation, such as arbutin and licorice root. So if you have a Ulta near you or Target, they've started making a test size or travel size version. You may want to pick this one up because it's a really good product and it is super inexpensive, which is all about my channel here. Like, we are going to get a beautiful skin. We're going to live and feel confident in our skin, but we're not going to break the bank because nobody got time for that. And then, so I follow up with a hyaluronic acid right now because it is winter and I need some extra hydration. This is like it's a magnet for moisture for me. And so I use this here. And so that's the step I'm up to right now while I'm talking to you about stop expecting skincare miracles overnight. That's just not how it works. So if you're watching any influencer who's telling you, you should probably be asking or wondering how long did they test the product for before they're giving the advice, yay or nay. Because I've also wondered myself, I'm like, how is she using this product for 6 weeks, not for 6 weeks, or at least for 30 days to let me know whether this thing works, the intended results. And I'm not talking about when we put the product on, it doesn't scar us. I'm talking about when you put the product on, does it do what it says it's supposed to do? Because that's my thing, right? Here, for example, this vitamin C is the one I'm testing right now. I picked this up when I was in Japan earlier last year. It's called Vitano C, but I've been testing it for now I'm on 2 weeks actually. I'm going to test this for about 30 to 45 days before I make a review on it, whether it does something, whether it does nothing, or whether, it is something that we need to put our money on, because it's not breaking me out. So that doesn't mean it's working. The point of vitamin C is to give me that glow up, brighten my skin, and help with dark spots. I don't have a lot of dark spots to counter, but I need to know whether or not this thing is working. So for influencers to use these products for like a day, or if they've been gifted or sponsored, and then they run through and they're like, hey, get this, it's amazing, it's amazing. I'm always a little hesitant about that type of review because Yes, it may not have broken me out. Yes, it may feel great going on. Yes, it may feel um, great, but is it all in my head that it's working, or is there really a noticeable change? So for me, at the end of this, my noticeable change should be a more brightening effect, the glow up. It's vitamin C that I'm supposed to be using. So I'm watching this, and interestingly, I've been doing my lives every day. So I'm going to go back to each live in the when I started using this to see, like, does my skin look any different at the end of 30 days? Let me know in the comments how long you normally would use a product before you'd say, yep, I love this, this is great for me. Or you someone who ditches product very quickly because you don't either see it working quickly enough. Okay. What's good? New Orleans in here. Awesome. Welcome, welcome. And look like 20. We colored people are blessed, Ricardo, and true we are. But it comes with a little bit of work. And I've been trying to tell folks, especially for colored folks, make sure you got that sunscreen on, okay? Because all the work you do with your skincare routine does not goes in vain if you are not wearing sunscreen. Now, the issue also going back to not expecting a result overnight is sometimes that you are probably on right on the precipice of seeing the results and you stop using the product, and that could be a really big thing. I have a lot of friends that I recommend something to because I'm like, they'll come to me and they'll say, hey Ayana, anything great for blah blah blah, and I said, yes, you may want to start doing this exfoliating, okay? And they do it one time and then they stop. And I'm like, or they do it 2 or 3 times and then they stop. And I'm like, hey, just remember your skin cell turnover. That plays a part in how quickly you're going to see the results. The younger you are, you're going to see results much faster because your skin cell turnover is happening and you have more collagen. All of those things work in your favor to seeing results quickly. However, if you are not, if we're in the 40s like us girlies, most of us here, um, it's gonna take a little bit of time, boo. It's gonna take some time. So you just have to, give it some time, be patient, keep consistency at bay, keep consistency at the front of your mind when it comes to skincare. It's just like everything else in life, right? I'm going through the struggle of growing a YouTube channel right now. And I think the biggest thing I'm having to beat into my head is that it's about consistency right now. It's not necessarily about the results today. The results are going to show up because of consistency, but it's not the other way around. It's consistency first, and then we see results. Same with skincare. It is consistency. Am I doing a night skin and am I doing a consistent routine? Am I wearing my sunscreen? Am I taking off my makeup at night? Am I doing one in the morning? Am I doing the right process? Focus on those things that the right ingredient that you're using, that you're not going too much on any of your actives, that you are layering correctly. All of these things count before you can see results. So if you're not consistent with those things, then you're really not going to get the same results that you normally, that you want right away. And so I think a lot of that, when we try to fast track or we try to cut corners, like in life, obviously, we're going to end up with crappy products, or we're going to end up with the skin that we're not really like. That's not what I was looking for. I'm looking for A, B, and C. So it's about consistency. And for those who are new to the skincare game, being consistent. Like when I first started really understanding my skin and what my skin needed and what I needed to change around the years of, the years of negativity on my skin, I'm going to say, it's when I started with a simple routine so that I could figure out consistency first. And my simple routine was really a cleanser that wasn't too expensive. Remember, you're washing this down the drain, so don't go out and buy the most expensive skincare cleanser thinking that's what you need. You just need a good cleanser that's good for your skin type, a moisturizer that's good for your skin type, and a sunscreen that you will wear every day. If you can get that skincare routine down, I promise you, you will see results with your skin in general. But yes, we are going to have different problem areas that we want to, just address. Dark skin, girlies may want to address the dark spots. If you're suffering with adult acne, you may want to address the acne. If you're like, I'm good, I just want to keep the wrinkles and fine lines a little bit down the road, then you may want to address those with different ingredients. But the first way of making sure that your skincare actually works is to be able to say that you can be consistent with your products, right? I'm in the military, and one of the things, the phrases we use often is reps and sets. Do we have enough reps and sets so that we can do something with our eyes closed, that we could do something without even thinking about it, that we can do something without someone telling us to do it, that we can do something without kind of bemoaning the process. Just it becomes a process when we have enough reps and sets. And that's what skincare is. The reps and sets of figuring out how to get that skincare routine moving, how to be able to put things on in the right layer, how to know if an ingredient is going to be good for us or not, and how to not just run out and buy the next new trending piece without first finishing out the products we have. Now, yes, I test a lot of products. If you see my area here, you're going to be like, oh my goodness, my daughter yesterday said it looked like a store. But I know that, hey, I'm not going to go in and just put on everything at any time. I'm going to work with a product first for a while. And then I could tell people, yes, this was a good one, or no, this wasn't, or this did nothing really extra for me. Okay. Now, at the end of the day, everyone has different skin. That is, we're unique, and that's how we're unique. So, recommendations from anyone is just that, a recommendation. At the end of the day, you got to know your skin the best. You know your skin. You will know if things got worse, if it got better, or if it made no difference. So don't just go with the hype of all the trending skincare on TikTok, on Instagram, on YouTube. Understand that everyone's skin is different. And these are just recommendations, right? You take them, you leave them, you test them, but test them in a safe manner doing the skincare patch so that it doesn't wreck what you got going on. Because if you've been consistent with your skincare products and you've been consistent with your routine, you don't want to just pick up any and any products because somebody said, oh, by the way, this is the new thing. The new thing just means it's another marketing. Great that it's out there, but just remember how marketing plays in on our psychology for us to buy new things, right? We a very consumer focused society. And as I said, I love me a good anything, but just make sure that when you're putting new products on your skin, that you are absolutely making sure that these products are working. And to work, you need to give it time. There are no skincare miracles overnight. It just isn't. And if you don't have the patience for that, then stick with a very simple routine, because you're going to get your heart broken like a 15-year-old and new love. It's just going to happen, because if you don't have patience, that's how it's going to roll up on you. Okay, so I'm going to go in with a moisturizing cream. And this moisturizing cream, believe it or not, is Walgreens. It's there compared to Kiehl's Ultra Facial Cream. If you've ever used the Kiehl's Ultra Facial Cream, know it's a really good, beautifully made product. It's also $40. And I just don't, we're in a recession. Are we getting there? Things are expensive everywhere. And I just don't have $40 to be dropping on moisturizer every day. Now, I don't have $5 to drop on a moisturizer that doesn't work. So I need to make sure, just because it's budget friendly, it has to still work. And this, my ladies and gents, this works. It's the Walgreens dupe for the Kiehl's moisturizer. It really does work. Look at that. It's nice and chunky. Chunky. Thinking about tomato soup or something already. But it's really nice and it goes on beautifully. I've used the Kiehl's moisturizing cream before. Can't tell the difference here. My face is moisturized throughout the day. It does not have any issues. I don't have to reapply It softens my skin. It does what it needs to do. And I have uber dry skin, and this is working phenomenally. So if you have a Walgreens by you, or you can order it online, you may want to check this one out. It is $12.99 versus $40.99. Okay. And then the last step in my routine is always going to be sunscreen. If we have any questions, let me know in the comments. If you're not wearing your sunscreen every day, I mean, be honest. Let's know. Let's see who's out there wearing the sunscreen every day, winter, summer, fall, spring. Let me know in the comments if you're doing that every day, because I have talked in every skincare um, video. I am going to tell you that the sunscreen is probably the number one thing. When people come and ask me about suggestions for certain products, I always say, I give the suggestion and I ask them, what sunscreen are you using? And the reason I ask that is because if you're not using a sunscreen, you're wasting your money on the other products. And I don't want anyone wasting their money on products. If you're not going to wear sunscreen, if you're not going to get into the consistency of wearing sunscreen, the results you're looking for with the other products is just not going to come as quickly as you think. And there you go. You're adding more time into seeing results. Wear the sunscreen, okay? Make the sunscreen a consistent part of your routine. And when you get to sunscreen guru level, then you're reapplying sunscreen. I still struggle with that because I'm indoors, but what I've done is kept a sunscreen in my office so that I could reapply during the day when I remember. But it is very hard. Okay. Now that is all for my quick routine. This is normally, if I wasn't talking with you guys and chatting, we would normally be able to finish this routine in less than 5 minutes. Consistency, but it is not a hard routine to have a something in the morning. Okay. All right. Well, that's all I have for today. Just remember at the end of the day, skincare miracles are not going to happen overnight, but they will happen. Okay. And so if you are struggling with any type of skincare issues, give the products a little bit of time to work. I know that there's so many out there, it could get overwhelming. And when you hear all these YouTube influencers talk about skincare, it just seems like they got it all together. But just try to remember that some of these things take time. And as we mentioned in the beginning, it's really the process of knowing your how old you are, because that's going to slow down your skincare turnover, the skincare, your skin cells. That takes a little bit of time to turn over the older you are. So if you're looking at a guru who is 17 years old, all right, a YouTube skin influencer who is in her early 20s, know that her skin is going to turn over more, her skin cells are going to turn over quickly than someone who is in their 40s or someone in their 50s. Understand the difference that makes in when they see results and when you can realistically see results. Doesn't mean the product doesn't work. It just means that you have to be patient. And patience in general is a virtue that in 2025, if I can master patience, I think I will be the richest woman on the planet. Not necessarily with money, but just in everything. I need to master patience. And the same thing when it comes to our skincare. All right. And like I always say, you'll thank me later. Have a wonderful day.